Okay, little CS355T Echo, little honey badger. These things are a clamshell design, and I knew I wanted more compression, and I always thought about doing this and never got around to it. So I finally did it, and what I did is I recut or reline bored the cylinder. So I moved the crank higher in the cylinder to reduce the squish. Squish was like 46 thousandths on this thing originally, and they have a pretty nice combustion chamber, a nice domed piston, tiny squish band and stuff, and so I knew it would really like compression, or it would like having that squish tightened up. So I ended up, this cylinder has square shoulders on it where it could clamp into the mill pretty easily, and I could shoot that crank bore again. So I ended up moving it up 25 thousandths in it just to be safe, because I couldn't really I didn't get a great squish measurement to begin with. Flipped it up vertically and took a fly cutter and cut the top, cut 25 thousandths off the whole flange. I could have done that in the lathe, could have put it on a mandrel and spun it on the lathe and done it like you would do a traditional cylinder, but I didn't have the correct mandrel for this size cylinder, and I didn't want to cut one. That all worked out pretty nicely. You do run into other problems, like the flywheel then hits the case, and you have to slot the coil, and you have to do some stuff with the oil pump to deal with the fact that you just moved the crank. So did that. Also had to use my Lucky Dog Manufacturing, the handpiece, the little contra angled dental handpieces that I make, and they're available on Lucky Dog Manufacturing's website. I had to use that with a really small burr to get into these transfer ports, because these transfer ports are it's a quad port design with tunnels cast in the side, and then it has some extra stuffers that go down in to kind of close off some of the larger part of the primary transfers. It's like they had to overcast them and then put in the little stuffer to get the shape that they wanted. But that little contra angle handpiece made that real easy to get to, and I even had to use the contra angle to get part of the exhaust. I just couldn't get the shape that I wanted from the side, because the exhaust port is actually on the bottom part of the cylinder, and it comes out this side of the cylinder. So imagine this scoop style exhaust port that you can't really reach in and get the whole cylinder side of it. So we're running a 3/8 low pro, some kind of chipper or a semi-chisel chain here. It's decently sharp, but it's still semi-chisel. And I think this is chestnut, and it is extremely hard. So let's give it a run.